Welcome to the Bookworthy Podcast. I'm children's author Valerie Fentress, and we are here to talk about kidlit that's good for your kids' hearts and souls. Today, we're talking... Wait a second. Season 7's done. And Season 8 doesn't start till January 20th. So, what are we doing here? While Bookworthy interviews are on break, I thought I'd stop in and help you bring in the Christmas season with 20-ish or more children's books to consider as gifts for under your Christmas tree. Whether my family likes it or not, I always will give them at least one book at Christmas. So I am always on the lookout for great books to wrap up and give. Join me as I introduce you to 20 or more books, board books to YA, for you to consider for the future book lovers in your family this holiday season. Well, let's start things off with a few books for ages birth to 3. We'll start with Indescribable for Little Ones by Louis Giglio and Tamara Fortner. This is an engaging continuation of Louis Giglio and Tamara Fortner's devotional Indescribable. Interactive actions on each page help inspire curiosity and serve as reminders, let's see if I can figure them out, of God's amazing creation. The Biggest Story, ABC by Kevin DeYoung. This book not only walks kids through the ABCs to connect letters to chronological events of the Bible, but the vibrant colors on each page and simple truths fill each page for young kiddos 0 to 3 with not only to gain the recognition of their letters, but the recognition of the truth of God's Word. The Gift I Can Give for Little Ones by Kathy Lee Gifford. This is a simplified version of Kathy Lee Gifford's picture book by the same title, but in book board form, so we can communicate the beautiful message to little hearts without having to worry about torn pages, beautiful illustrations, and just sweet, sweet truth for little ones. Next, we have God Must Love by Tori Higgett. This precious book does an amazing job of communicating God's love of things, both big and small and yummy and colorful, beautiful illustrations. It is a more picture book form, so caution for little hands and little mouths, but it is a sweet and loving book with whimsical illustrations and a sweet reminder to kids and parents of who God is and what that means for us about God's love. Our next set of books are picture books, which are best for ages 4 to 8, but I will always say that you are never too old for a picture book. Here we go. We'll start with Downtown Doors by Natasha Triplett. This is a beautiful walk through downtown streets that sometimes can get a bad rap, but Natasha does a great job of displaying the humanity and value of people in all walks of life in the day-to-day life of a young boy and his mother. It is a sweet and gorgeous look at a little bit of culture and a little bit of just our heart for people. God's Masterpiece, The Adventure of Discovering Your Worth by Elizabeth Hasselbeck. This is a look at different styles of art and that we are reminded, if I can open it, that we are God's workmanship, that we are beautifully and wonderfully made, a masterpiece by the ultimate master. This is a beautiful book. Keeping the Light, a story about letting your light shine by Allie Gilkson. Flynn is a lovable character who wants to help the lighthouse, but has a few things to learn about how the lighthouse works. This picture book walks through the importance of lighthouses and the importance of treating everyone with kindness, whether they deserve it or not, and what happens when we don't. It's a great reminder for young and old that we are to be the light of the world, no matter how people react to it. It is a sweet, sweet book. Light of the World, Josiah's Story by Sophie Demuth. This is a picture book adaptation of the movie Light of the World with a focus on Josiah's story and how he views and processes the events he witnesses in Jesus' ministry. It is a sweet book, fun illustrations, lots of feelings and events walking through the ministry of Jesus and how Josiah sees Jesus and really sees him as the Messiah, because kids kind of get it sometimes before the adults. Great book. Next, we have You Are Always Enough by Emily Lee. This is a sweet reminder that our value isn't defined by mistakes or the hard, but that we are loved and cherished just as we are. It's a sweet book for parents to read with their children on good days and a precious reminder for all of us on the not so good days. And just beautiful illustrations, lots to see and discover and remember, lots of different kids and their talents being on display. Some quiet, some busy and ready for the stage. It is just a sweet reminder. This is Seek and Find New Testament Bible Stories by Sarah Parker. This is one in a full series of Bible Seek and Find books that are just so much fun. Visual expressions of Jesus' life is what's the focus of this particular book in my hands. It's a fun seek and find format with over 450 things to find, and count, and giggle about. It is just a great way of engaging our kids in the stories we want them to know and the truths we want them to hide in their hearts. A Little More Like Jesus by Zach Williams. This is a fun picture book adaptation of Zach Williams' song, A Little More Like Jesus. You follow kiddos and a guitar-wielding bus driver as they look for ways to serve and be like Jesus in their community. Great pictures, all kinds of examples of how to be kind and serve. It is in kind of just their everyday activities and just a really sweet way of connecting what we're listening to on the radio to a book and just cementing that we want to be like Jesus and show Jesus to the world around us. Next, we have Guess Why God Made the Rainbow by Karen Ferguson. This book is book 3 of Karen's God Questions series. And in this pages, she tackles not only the story of Noah and the rainbow, but also how we can trust God, even when we are scared. It is a great picture book and a great reminder that the stories in the Bible are not just stories, but they are things that we can take to our heart in our very own lives. Let's jump into early chapter books for young readers, kind of ages 6 to 8. This is The King's Cadets and Little Joe by Joe Sutton and Kevin Chandler. This sweet early chapter book, it's a really early chapter book, really great. Kind of reminds me of was it Frog and Toad and Little Critter, kind of the way that it's set up. It is an extension of Helen L. Taylor and Joe Sutton's Little Pilgrim's Progress and the simplified adaptation of John Bunyan's Pilgrim's Progress. Sweet, playful characters go on an adventure and have to face everyday choices while remembering their desire to be little warriors for the King of Kings. It is a sweet, sweet book. Next, I have God's Colorful Kingdom Storybook Bible by Esau Macaulay. This beautifully illustrated storybook Bible aims to remind us that diversity is both beautiful and part of God's design. While walking through the Bible stories we want our kids to fold into their hearts. If you think you have a young kiddo who's ready for a storybook Bible to explore, I highly recommend this book. You can get Bookworthy's full list of Bibles and devotionals in the show notes and on the blog. Next, we're going to move to graphic novels for ages kind of 8 plus, and even for some reluctant readers like my own who still prefer graphic novels over full novels. This is God with Us, Bible Stories on the Road to Emmaus by Matt Michelatos. I'm sorry, Mike. Think family road trip and Bible truth. This is a graphic novel that's both humorous and engaging, full of amazing illustrations and reminders of what God did through Christ and his ministry, and a great way to engage reluctant readers who can get overwhelmed by reading the actual Bible, but still communicating those sweet truths we want them to know. Next is Mythmakers by John Hendricks. This book is an absolute gem. John does an amazing job of weaving myth and friendship and the heart of storytelling into the pages of this book. It's a true adventure that makes the facts and the biographies fun, and even you skip through pages as you follow the characters on their journey to discover this friendship between J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis. It is 10 out of 10, 100% great book. Next, we have Patrick Wigglesworth's Bizarre Bible Adventures by Jack and Liz Hagler. If you have a kiddo who loves Diary of a Wimpy Kid or Dogman, this is a Christian alternative you've been looking for. Currently, there are 3 volumes, walking with a lovable character in his sleepwalking adventures that take a biblical turn through the stories that we want to hide in our kids' hearts. It is a great set of books, and I think there's more coming out soon. I can't wait to see what happens next. All right, moving on to middle grade books for kids ages 8 to 12. We'll start with The Unlikely Intrusion of Adam's Klein by John Greco. This is a time-traveling adventure exploring the impact we have on the people around us. It is the first book in a series that leaves you in a bit of a cliffhanger, begging for the next book. It's very engaging, a great read for middle grade readers. Next is Keep 'em Flying by Nell Branham. This is a contemporary Nancy Drew with World War II twist. Fun characters and a little unknown history is so much fun. Great characters that you fall in love with, and I think there are currently 2. And the 3rd one is due out in January, I believe. It is just a lot of fun and a unique way of looking at history and how that affects our culture, affects our hearts, and affects our relationship with God, too. It's a really great book. Next, we have Beyond the Far Horizon by Carolyn Leoglu. This is the 3rd book in our Restoration series. It's a keep you guessing adventure through art with a redemptive message that is absolutely precious. Next, we have Soledad and the Curse of the Phoenix by Mindy Baker. This is a lower middle grade fantasy set in an ancient Mesoamerican world that builds hope and courage rising from destruction. It is a really engaging look at courage and redemption. Really great book by Mindy Baker. Next, we have Harlow Morgan and The Sky City by Lindsay Llewellyn. This is high fantasy steampunk adventure worthy of the big screen. I can't wait to see more of Harlow Morgan and these adventures that just take kids both into the future but into their own heart too. It is a great, great story. Next is Tambika and the Shield of Wisdom. This is book 2 in the Light Gliders origin. This is the 2nd book in the Light Gliders series by Derek Hostler and Zach Fay. We're taken back to the land of Glydian, but this time following Tambika's journey of discovery and forgiveness. This is a great series for younger readers ready to take on longer chapter books, but not quite ready for the bigger middle grade books like the whole Harry Potter series or something like that. So this is a really great stepping stone to those kids that are ready to be a little more adventurous in their writing adventures. Next, we have The Minor Rescue by Meredith Davis. This is book 2 in The Amazing Adventures of Noah Minor, which right now is a 2-book series. And it follows kind of the superhero story with a little bit of science mixed in there and family dynamics and what's our purpose and what are we made for. It's a great series of books, very engaging, great characters. They'll keep both girls and boys busy turning through the pages. It is a fun, fun read. Okay, yes, I've even found some YA books for those ever-challenging teen readers. Start with Once Upon a Castle by Sarah Author. This is a Carrick Hall novel. This is book 2 in the series. It has lots of Narnia vibes and found family, just lots of fun and adventure and knowing what you stand for, knowing who you are, kind of those ideas we want our kids to establish in that young 13 plus age range. Really fun and engaging series. Check it out. Next, we have Of Masquerades and Fame by Candice Pedraza Jimenez and Claire Kohler. This is a fun book, very Phantom of the Opera, Masquerade, little bit of romance in there, very clean, very engaging and fun. It makes you question even who can you trust. And so, great book. Next, we have Ember Gold by Rochelle Nelson. This is a slow burn romance with Beauty and the Beast and redemptive vibes for those girls that might be interested in it. There's only a little bit of kissing, but a really unique take on the Beauty and the Beast story. I was really sucked into this world, and I have a few hints there might be more to this series. I kind of hope so. We'll see what Rochelle decides to do. Next, we have Echo Nova by Clint Hall. This is a space odyssey for the young men out there. Take you on an adventure in space, but swords and a cinematic smash at its finest, complete with all its thrills and adventures befitting a timeless hero's journey, is what Sarah Ellis says about this book. Totally fun. Last but not least, I bring you, this is not so much new as in it's been around for a while, but I discovered it this year and it is 10 out of 10 recommended reading for teens. This is called the Out of Time series by Nadine Brandeis. I highly recommend this book series for YA readers. It does an amazing job of communicating Christian conflict, in culture in a way that communicates the gospel clearly and communicates just the heart of love we are to have for people. It is such an encouraging and great series to read through for young adults. And kind of for the last little bit, we are going to look at some devotionals that you might want for under the tree. Some of them are for the holidays and some of them are not. See what we discover along the way here. First, we have Light of the World Family Devotional, which is a 90-day devotion for families who want to be like Jesus by Natalie. This is a sweet family devotional that coincides with the Light of the World movie that came out this September. It follows the ministry of Jesus and how that affects us as followers of the light of the world. Great for families to engage over dinner. Short, sweet. There's questions for discussion and prayers and Bible verses. It really keeps it short and sweet, but very heartfelt and full of biblical truth. Totally awesome. Next, we have The One We Are Waiting For by Taylor Combs. This is a 25-day Christmas devotional for families that walks through the biblical evidence that Jesus is woven into every story in the Bible. Beautiful illustrations just point us to the who and why of our Savior, Jesus. It is a sweet, sweet book. There's even in the very back little tiles that you can cut out and hang as ornaments on your Christmas tree as you're preparing for Christmas this Advent season. We also have Wild Faith by Valerie Ellis. This is for those animal lovers in your house, kind of ages, I'd say 6 to 8, even up to 11 maybe, but amazing pictures and illustrations, lots of great Bible verses and truths about what it means to live for God and how nature itself shows us not just about God, but about us. Kind of the subtitle for this is 52 Amazing Animals That Point to One Great God. It is both beautiful and engaging and a way to just continue to wonder and explore nature and to see God everywhere. Highly recommend. A few for your YA folks, or even for you as an adult. There's the Prayers of St. Nicholas, which kind of walks through several of kind of the character of St. Nicholas and his life and the kind of his journey. Then there's also the Manger Throne devotional, which is really cool to kind of think about the manger and Jesus coming lowly, being the King of Kings. I am hoping to read through this one this Christmas, and I'm looking forward to it. Whew, I know I said 20 books, but this book lover kept finding more and more books to share. I hope that this list and other downloadable Bookworthy lists in the show notes can help you and your family find an adventure in the pages of a book this holiday. Thank you for my PR friends at Tyndale, Moody, New Growth Press, and Multnomah for providing physical books for this episode. See more individualized reviews on Bookworthy's YouTube channel, and Merry Christmas and happy reading.